Hey guys, welcome to another speed art video. Today we're just talking a little bit about some of the misconceptions about artists. If you like this kind of thing, let me know, but otherwise enjoy the rest of the video. Alright, we're gonna try this recording again. I really just rambled the previous video, previous recording, and this is the fifth one because I've had so many issues. I sounded like Megatron in the first one, and then I had a ton of static in the other one, so we're gonna try this again. And I apologize if I sound like I'm trying to create ASMR. I'm really not. That's not my niche, but it's mostly just because it's a little bit late, so I need to be a bit quiet. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about artists and specifically the artistic process, and even more specifically, misconceptions with the artistic process and how people arrive at a finished piece. So this recently came to mind after having some conversations with both people who are artists and trying to develop their skills, which includes me, by the way, and then people who don't consider themselves artists but observe other people creating things and just wonder how they do it. And the misconception is, I'm not going to leave you on the cliffhanger anymore, is that they somehow create exactly what is in their head and they just project it onto paper. That they have this amazing idea and this piece that they envision themselves creating, and they just, bam, they just create it straight away and they're satisfied with it, and it was exactly what they're meant to create. And that's just, I really think it's just not true. Of course there are exceptions, but I think it comes from maybe not always realizing the process behind creating art. For example, you look at someone like Kim Jong-ji, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I'm so white, I don't know how to pronounce his name properly, and I apologize if that's completely wrong, but and I'll link his work in the description. But you just watch someone creating art like him, where he creates these extremely complex scenes with what seems to be perfect accuracy, and it just unfolds to be this, you know, massive piece of art that you're like, man, how did he envision that and just create that from his brain? But actually, even he himself talks about his process and just says, yeah, I don't envision it completely before. I have an idea, but then it just kind of unfolds as I draw. I draw one thing and then I add onto it. And so I think there's something that people who don't always have an understanding of the process, it can be a little bit damaging, I think, for artists or even people who aren't wanting to pursue art professionally or as, you know, aren't super serious about it. And that is that whenever they create art and it doesn't turn out the way that they had it in mind, they consider that piece of art a failure, or that they didn't quite get what they were going for. And I think that is pretty detrimental to people's progress. But I want to say this, I think there are two things going on. One is, there may just be a lack of fundamentals. So the person may not have understanding maybe of, for example, if they're trying to draw a person and it's just not turning out right. They may struggle with anatomy, and they may need to actually just study those things, to study, you know, figure drawing, anatomy, perspective, those kind of things. There are other fundamentals such as color and light and so on, which are all really fundamental, as the name goes, to drawing ability. So someone who struggles with not being able to create what comes into their mind and compares themselves to artists and they just feel like they're not adding up. Yes, possibly skill itself might be something that you need to develop in terms of the fundamentals and understanding of drawing. Drawing is a skill, it is not magic, it is something you develop, and I think many people can develop it to a pretty proficient standard. But the other thing is, art really isn't about creating exactly what's in your head. Also, let's see how many voice cracks you can count on this, because man, I've been having a voice cracky night. Anyway, I think it's important that if you feel you do have a development of fundamentals And it's not more the frustration of not being able to create something, but it's actually just feeling disappointed. It's important to realize that a lot of what is enjoyable about art is the fact that you don't create exactly what's in your head. It can be frustrating, but imagine if you could create exactly what was in your head every time. It would feel great initially, and then you'd be like, ah, this is kind of lame. Like, I have an idea, I create it, and it comes out exactly like that. There's no room for something to emerge that I wasn't imagining. And there's, you know, it would not be enjoyable. You would have no happy accidents. Art couldn't turn out better than you imagined because it would be limited to coming out exactly as you wanted it to. And I've had many drawings where it's come out better than I've wanted, and I've had many drawings that have been absolute trash, and it's not been worth it at all. But that's what's great about it. For example, the reason I'm recording over this piece of art is because you can see I'm changing so much. I had absolutely no idea where this was going. I was starting off with some weird creature, and it became a glorified vacuum. At least with like the weird mouthpiece thing. And that's really what made it enjoyable. I was not expecting it to go this way. And so that's kind of what I wanted to say. That's sort of my little 2 cents on the topic of creating what's in your head and, you know, the development of art. I think if you feel you're extremely frustrated with art and it's more a sense of just not being capable of creating what you want, some of that might be something to do with fundamentals. And the good news is that's something you can work on. You can just develop skills and the ability to create art that looks real and is accurate, or not necessarily real, but, you know, is sophisticated and developed where you understand the fundamentals of art. And that's something that you can study and you can practice and you can develop tangible results in. But the other thing is, art is really a creative process. The final image, this sounds cringy, but the final image is not really what art is all about. It is for what other people can see. But for you, it's really a process of creating something and coming with a final result that you weren't really expecting to get. So that's all I really have to say. You can work on your fundamentals, but also just know that a lot of artists, in fact, all artists almost, don't create exactly what they had in mind, and it kind of unfolds as they go along and they develop something they weren't always expecting to, and sometimes it's better than what they imagined, sometimes it's not what they imagined. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. That's my little unscripted, unplanned ramble. If you enjoy this kind of thing, let me know. I actually quite enjoy doing it, even though I had so much trouble tonight, but it is something that I enjoy talking about, and there's plenty of subjects that I might share my little 2 cents on, but, you know, I just love pretending to know what I'm talking about. Feels great, you know? No, but I hope this is a bit of an encouragement to some people that if you feel you can't create what's in your head, I can't vouch for everyone else, but I can certainly tell you I'm the exact same. I've never in my life created exactly what I meant to create. The good news is sometimes it's ended up much better than I imagined, and sometimes it's been way worse and I've dropped a piece of art and that's been fine. So yeah, just a little bit about the piece of art. I know this is all grayscale and I meant to leave it as that, and then I stopped recording and then I ended up adding a bit of color, and then it turned out to be a lot of color. So when you see this final image, I know it has color, but I've had a few requests of people to explain my artistic process. So next week's video, I'm just going to run through how I create art in one format, and you guys can try it out yourself. It's just how I do it, and I've learnt it from a lot of other people. It's not my own process, nothing super unique. Yeah, that's all I had to share tonight. Thank you for being here and watching me draw some weird robot thing, and let me know if you do like this sort of style of voiceovers, and I've got plenty of topics that I'd love to discuss. Thank you so much for watching that. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. If you want to see more of those kind of things, please let me know. I enjoyed making it, and I'm happy to do voiceovers and talk about many more subjects. As you can see on my right, your left, there is a few options for you. You can either click the subscribe little thing with my face on it, otherwise there's YouTube's recommended, but no pressure to click any of those.